can freestyle. Play it again.
Starting over. Here we go.
Poison, deadly, moving in slow. Looking for a mellow fella like DeVoe getting paid. Hey, so you better lay low. Scheming on Pops Bunny and the whole show. Thank you for joining us on this episode with Nana Kwame Adjei-Brenyah of my new show, Doing Stuff with Writers. I'm super excited because Nana's going to teach me how to make music today, like make beats.
Sort of, yes.
Okay. So I don't know how to do anything.
Excellent. Well, first, I'm happy to be here doing stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe it makes sense for me to explain like what even this sort of device is. I'm one of those people who I definitely tell people I make beats. I guess that's how you knew to ask me about this. But I'm also very much like a novice. But this machine looks more impressive than maybe I am, so I'll start with it. It's the Akai MPC Studio Black. It's part of the long line of the MPCs that I think people know Jay Dilla for that. Even Kanye is big on them. A lot of these producers because it can do a lot. It's a sort of simple machine. This one's pretty portable, you know. It's this is the whole thing. You can throw it around. It's a controller for a lot of stuff. And for me, it's been my way in because I don't really have a big, strong musical background or whatever. And it has been my way into sort of making me feel like Kanye being an evil televangelist.
Yeah. Kanye pre whatever that silver paint situation
is. Tin Man, whatever.
Nebuchadnezzar, is that what it's for? I don't know what it's for. But we should talk about, so you don't have a musical background, but you just started doing this?
I don't have a real musical background. I played trombone in high school.
Oh, that's a musical background.
Is that, I don't know.
It's a musical background.
But I haven't stayed up with it is what I mean.
But you can read music.
Yeah, I can kind of read music. I can keep, I know how many beats are in a measure, I can count to 4, over and over again.
Okay.
I can do that stuff, but not much more, I would say.
I played clarinet, and I don't play anymore.
When did you stop?
6th grade. I still dabble in piano.
Oh, okay.
But I'm also not good at that, so
okay.
I'm totally going to be a novice. I play on GarageBand on my phone when I have insomnia. That's about the extent of my musical experience.
Well, I think for me, I am very much it's just a fun thing. And the first time I talked about it was in the context of some other artistic thing you do besides writing. I think one of these magazines had asked me about that. And for me, it's because I don't usually do exactly what I'm doing now. I don't usually show people it. It's not connected to my livelihood, the way writing has become. I can have fun with it in a different way.
Yeah.
Not to say writing is fun or whatever, but writing has changed, when you know for sure there's an audience and all that stuff.
It's so different. I think, could you talk more about that? Because when the money's involved, it's totally different. It's almost like writing on assignment for school. It totally changes your tone, your attitude about it. It feels more fun to just sort of write because you're intrinsically motivated and you want to tell the stories. But then when you're writing for other people, it feels totally different.
Yeah, and it's weird because we all sort of aspire to be writing to a non-imaginary person, I think, probably.
Yeah.
But when it happens in a specific way, you realize the energy is sort of different because with your first sort of piece of work that you put out into the world, you don't know what's gonna people are gonna like or what they're not gonna like or all that stuff. And so for me, it's been interesting to know for sure that this thing maybe has caught in a certain kind of way that I did previously, and I want to do something different now. And I'm a different person now. And so it's a hard balance, I think, for me. And so with the music stuff, it's no one cares about it, and I still force my friends to listen to it when they give me the aux chord. So it's more that kind of energy,
Yeah, I just want to give you credit for this whole show. Because we were on a panel together, I don't know where we were, Tucson or something.
Yeah.
And you actually talked about this. You were I think this is an important thing to do, is to make other stuff and to just make stuff for fun.
Yeah.
And to do it with no pressure. And I was that's profound. That's what I do with my crafting. My crafting is my other creative outlet, and I just make jewelry. I make these earrings. I make earrings for my friends. I'm not selling anything. I'll eventually do it for charity.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's it's the way that I express myself without any pressure. And I feel like this is sort of what you're saying about the music.
Absolutely. I think that making something just to make it, being close to that sort of play is like important for like art.
Yeah, and I think play is huge.
Yeah. All right, so speaking of like play and fun, like I remember the first beat I had done that like I thought, first I had a lot of fun making it, and I thought, you know what, maybe this is like kind of gonna be cool, was what I'm about to play in a second. I gave it to my friend Mike Mitch, shout out to Mike Mitch, and he did something to it, which was like a cool feeling. I feel like it was like a secret, like a dream come true, have somebody rap on something I made, you know what I mean?
So cool,
Yeah. So I'll play just a little bit of that, and then I'll kind of talk about how I made it.
Okay.
Aspirations versus reality. Another shout out to my producer Nana Kwame Adjei-Brenyah on the beat, who epitomizes, overcame this battle and actually won. For me,
I'm in this battle with self. I'm confused as I'm searching for wealth. Not only money, but my time finds wealth in itself.
That's probably enough. You gotta get the idea.
Losing time on it.
He's good.
Yeah.
And it's a good beat.
And thank you. And so, for me, like when I do the sample thing, that's like there's a process for that as us going through YouTube basically, and like you could type in like, I don't know, 80s crates. And it's kind of cool, instead of like going to the physical record store like you would have to before, they just give you like these playlists of a bunch of music that you have maybe know or maybe don't know.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and it's like a ton of stuff. And for me, I think what's cool about sampling and hip hop in general, it's very, and I mean, maybe we're losing this now, but I guess you could debate about that, is I feel like it's very aware of its history. It's so young that you sort of know who came before. And also, it's because through sampling and through a bunch of other methods, like it's connected to other sort of black music from the past, you know? Mm-hmm. And so, even with this, I got connected to an artist who I had never previously known. And then I kind of get to be in conversation with her in this new kind of way, you know what I mean?
It's so, I'm gonna let you like teach me how you made this, but it's so similar to what we do in our work, because we're in conversation with all the black artists who have come before us, or at least a lot of them, and through literary illusion, it's kind of like sampling, and we're like pulling from the work, and we're doing all this stuff that brings it back into the forefront, kind of like people have done by uncovering like Hurston. Hurston didn't die famous, like she had to be recovered, so you're kind of recovering music for people.
And and it becomes like a really cool like project to do that. You know, these people who maybe haven't gotten there sort of just do, or even that have, like me personally, I get to be reconnected with them. And what you're saying, I feel is exactly right. When I used to teach a class called, it was like a 205 course, or college research and writing course, but I did an inquiry on hip hop. And we had there was a paper on sampling that said exactly what you're saying.
That's really cool.
How literacy and like also with like academic writing, all the people they cite, you know? Like that sampling, you know, that's how we move forward. You kind of have to know where you came from, and like, you know,
definitely
that whole thing. So this is the song. I'm gonna try to at least get to the part that I sampled. Okay. So it's by this song called "Who You Gonna Love." Then in parentheses, your woman or your wife.
That sounds very like something you would listen to in Jackson, Mississippi after 1 o'clock when the radio station switches from church to secular music.
It's very specific,
it's very specific.
So I want to play it. I could have done that part too. I could have sampled there. That's a cool intro that I totally didn't use.
I like that you went back so far, that you didn't like pick a 90s thing to sing.
No. This part right here is the key part of it. So that little section, I heard that. And I think that maybe it might be the second time she does it. That part, yeah.
Those lyrics are
straight to the point.
I know, like your woman or your wife.
If you press these buttons, you can see the different samples I picked out to like sort of play with. If you want to go ahead and just press any of these.
I can press buttons.
Press a bunch. You can do whatever. Nothing will be broken. Not like the ones that. Like,
oh.
Yeah, and it's also touch sensitive, so no matter how hard you press, like it comes out of. Here, like this one over here. Oh, sorry. Like, these like it's like.
Oh. So I'm just like picking different parts of the song.
Yeah, like so I was like trying to find out what to do. Then eventually I got to like that kind of stuff. Like these little smaller pieces, and like the hook, which we didn't get to hear in the part, ends up going like this, like.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and like for me, the hardest part of this whole thing is like being organized, because I'm like not.
It's also like writing though, because you do so much pulling for like a sentence that doesn't even end up in the book, but
Yeah.
it still influenced whatever you were doing.
And you're taking things in constantly, you know? You're like always like trying to like pull stuff in, you know? So you can see that little section, that ended up being like the hook. Because for me, when I sample with words, like, I also like the transformation that can happen, because, you know, I don't know for you when you're reading stuff. For me, like I do my good writing when I'm reading something I really, really like.
Me too. Yeah.
You know? Like, and that's like, you kind of know what it feels like when like I'm getting affected by this.
Yeah.
And your writing may have little or nothing to quote unquote do with what you're reading, but it still like kind of charges you up. And so with the sampling thing, and like this particular beat, like, you know, she was talking about something very specific, you know, that I didn't necessarily know that Mike was gonna go with. You can sort of transform it just by taking like, who you're gonna love is what she's saying, you know. Even though she's saying in a very different context, his verse, if you go on through it, ended up being kind of about like a kind of self-lovey, like rappy style, braggadocious, but still like I like I'm at a place where I can like fuck with myself, you know. Oh, I don't know, am I allowed to say this kind of thing?
Yeah. What I also like about the sampling and what you're saying about like him basically reinterpreting it is that we do that same work too, and it's like signifying, like what Henry Louis Gates would call signifying, where black people put their own specific twist on whatever has come before and changes it. And your friend like totally changed the context of the song by doing it this way.
Yeah, and so that's like for me that's like the fun. Another part, again, like talking about the fun, like it's fun to see how much you can do that. And so like this little part right here ended up becoming the main part of like the song. So something simple like that, it like became like the main part of the song. I just took that little phrase that we saw and we made it into that's, you know, something like that.
It's really cool.
Yeah, and if you want, we could like, I don't know, I could show you like something I'm working on now, or it's like something like different and something kind of like, I don't know.
Could you do that?
I can do that. So this is like what I'm sort of working on now. It's a sample from the Dramatics, and I think, you know, this is, I can play a lot of it here.
Think I'm gonna cry.
So I had that little section that I went to work with.
I like that section.
And that I already felt like was off. So I can already, like, I just hit undo. It's a lot of undo. A lot of redoing stuff.
But do you actually throw it away?
That's gone.
So it's not like writing, because I don't throw anything away. I have like files of scraps.
Yeah, you know, if I get to like, I mean, for that little thing, I'll keep it. I mean, I'll throw it away, but like if I get to enough, I'll have like a different, it's called a sequence, but that could be like a draft that you might keep.
Okay.
And actually, and I have one already, and I'm actually working that I don't think I'm gonna keep. So like, it's true, like you can do it, maybe not. That would be the equivalent of like erasing like a letter. You know what I mean? Not like something snippy, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Can I make one now?
You can make one, and we can try to do as much as we can from like semi-scratch. This is the
Mine is like the most melancholy after what Nana picked. His is like your wife or your woman, and mine is just like Alanis Morrissette being sad. But okay.
Shout out to Alanis Morrissette, but a lot of stuff I do will be like, I'll flip something a little bit, and it is pretty sad. Like it'll be like, it's almost like Tory Lanez, what Tory Lanez does, except way more angry and depressed. I do that, that kind of thing. Vibe. Yeah.
Okay. Let's make this way more angry and depressed than it actually is, which is
it's
already
hard. I don't know if we can do that, but we'll try our best.
Let's make it more jagged.
We might not get to put like drums and stuff on like we really want to, but at least we can find like a good little place to chop it up.
Okay.
So let's just listen to the full thing we have.
I could do that.
You do it.
Okay. Well, mine's off.
Yeah.
It's off. Do it again. So I'm gonna try to add drums now to Alanis and see what happens.
Perfect. I'm gonna record it.
Okay, record it.
Yeah. Hey. Oh.
Okay, I feel like I made enough of a mess.
A beautiful mess.
Okay, play it back. It's gonna sound so bad. Crappy first drafts, y'all.
Yeah. You ready?
You can't rap over this because it has no consistent beat.
Yeah, we can. And we're going to after this now.
Okay.
You ready? I should go first or you go first?
Yeah, you're gonna go first.
Just want to give a shout out to Alanis Morrissette and all the
Canadians of the world.
All
We
the-
love you.
Canadians.
They're good ones.
My first ever story that was published for real was for this Canadian contest, and the Canadians were really mean to me because I was the only American in it. So
That sounds Canadian. They're
I
all
know what
like
you're pretending to do, Canada.
60% Canadian content or more.
They're not as nice as they act.
It's sometimes true. I wrote a whole dissertation about Canadian multiculturalism, so you might want to look that up. But
Boom.
also, I do love Alanis Morrissette, and I do love You Can't Do That on Television, which is a show you should look up if you've never seen it. It was bomb. And she was on it with like a really bad haircut, but I still love you, Alanis. It was a bad haircut, I think you know that.
I knew this was gonna be all about Alanis
I
Morissette.
know, really didn't think that was
So
gonna happen.
now
so
we're gonna
you're
try to freestyle. You are too.
We'll see.
I don't know what to say. Thinking about Alanis Morissette. Nafisa made a beat and it might be the best yet. And you know we going through, I'm feeling tight. Might just go fly up on the jet. I'm gonna pass it to the queen. She's about to do her thing.
It's gonna be really, really bad because I can't rap. Everything I stole always sounds whack. About to switch back to some Alanis lyrics that I'ma steal from her because that's what I do.
That's what I do.
That's how we do.
That's how we do. The beat was so fly, I think it just flew.
That's how we do stuff with writers up in here. It's so bad.
That was very fun for me.
Yeah,
So.
this was fun.
Great
Thank you
job.
for doing this, Nana. I ask everybody a few rapid fire questions on the show, so I have a few for you.
Perfect.
One of them is, who's your favorite rapper right now?
My knee-jerk answer is J. Cole, but I'm gonna also say Mick Jenkins from Chicago.
Okay. Who else are you listening to that's interesting that's not hip hop?
Good question. I've been listening to is it Flume? Flume? Yeah.
Not cool enough.
Yeah, I'm not.
don't
I
know.
just it just came out of my head.
I just learned
randomly.
Billie Eilish a week ago.
I heard her music a lot. I'm like, who's this sad-sounding girl?
It's not Alanis Morrissette. It's another one.
Maybe she's in that tradition.
I think a lot of us are in that tradition, melancholy, sad girls. It's like a thing. There's the manic pixie girl who makes you happy, and then there's the sad girl that you have to make happy.
I like Billie Eilish because when you see her, I've only saw her twice, so maybe I'm wrong, but she's very oh look, I'm happy, but but clearly I'm sad. You know what I mean? It's cool though, because I'm not hiding it that much.
Yeah, I'm not hiding my either.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, other rapid fire questions. Favorite collection that came out that's not yours in the past few years? Yours is Friday Black. It's bomb.
I'm not. This is not me just saying it. Yours is. I'm not allowed to say that. Heads of the Colored People is one of my favorite collections. I teach it, and I only teach stuff I really, really, really like. I love a lot of the books that came out this year. I'm trying to think of something that's doesn't always get mentioned, but I always mention you and Jamel in this space because that's what I think of first.
Alexia, I think.
Oh, Alexia Arthurs. Yes, How to Love a
also
Jamaican. I've
amazing.
been listening to it. Great
It's
book.
good. It's good.
She's great.
She's great. She's amazing. Really great person. I think I want to have her on the show too, so we'll see. I just want to thank Nana for being on the show today. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too, teaching me how to make beats. You did a much better job than I did.
We both did our best.
We both did our best, sort of.
No, no, turn.
I'm already like sadder than I was.
I'm sorry.
Before I pressed play.
I know, I am too. I'm not sure that this was a good choice.
It's a great choice though.
But like when you write, sometimes you just have to go with it for a minute.
You gotta go to the
see
sad
where the
place.
draft takes you.
It's a joke.
Cut.
Alanis Morrissette is great.
What was my other rapid fire question? We're gonna have to edit this down because I forgot them.
Semi-rapid.
It's like
sort of fast-paced questions.
like my freestyle. Can we do like a thumbs up, Wayans Brothers? Like, and we're out.